For years, we've been told that walking 10,000 steps a day is the key to good health. But that number was never based on science. In this video, I break down new research published in the Lancet Public Health. That shows why about 7,000 steps a day delivers most of the health benefits, especially after 50. At the end, I'll show you the simplest way to hit 7,000 steps without long workouts. Now, let's get into the research.
Okay, let's talk about something we've all heard a million times: 10,000 steps a day. It's like the golden rule of fitness, right? But what if that number, that big, round, kind of intimidating number, wasn't actually based on science? Well, we're going to dive into some brand new research that points to a much more achievable and scientifically backed sweet spot for our health. So yeah, let's just get right to it. Is the whole 10,000 steps a day thing a myth? I mean, really, the answer might actually surprise you. And honestly, it could completely change the way you think about your daily walk. All right, first things first, we got to pull back the curtain and see where this 10,000 step number even came from. And let's just say the origin story isn't what you'd expect from a major health guideline. Yep, you're seeing that right. The whole 10,000 step rule? It didn't come from some groundbreaking medical study or a team of doctors. It actually started in Japan as a marketing campaign to sell a pedometer. It was basically just a catchy slogan, not real medical advice. Crazy, right? And here's the real problem with that. Look, walking 10,000 steps is definitely good for you. Nobody's arguing that. But for so many of us, that number just feels huge. It feels overwhelming. And what happens when a goal seems completely out of reach? Well, a lot of the time we don't even start. We just give up before we even take that first step. Okay, so if the old number was just a marketing slogan, what's the real answer? Let's ditch the ad campaign and look at what the actual science, the real data, has to say about it. So, the big game changer here is a massive review from a super respected journal, the Lancet Public Health. And when I say massive, I mean it. Researchers pulled together data from almost 60 different studies across 10 countries involving hundreds of thousands of adults. Their mission? To find out, once and for all, how many steps actually make a difference for our health. So when you put it side by side like this, the difference is just night and day, isn't it? On one hand, you've got a goal that was literally born from a 1960s ad campaign. And on the other, you have a target that comes from one of the most comprehensive scientific reviews ever done on this topic. It's kind of a no-brainer with whom we should probably be listening to. And what all that science points to is a new magic number, a new target. It's what you might call the sweet spot, that perfect point where we get a massive return on our investment for our health, but without that intimidating, overwhelming feeling. And the impact of hitting this sweet spot? It is absolutely staggering. The study found that people who were walking around 7,000 steps a day had a nearly 50% lower risk of dying early compared to folks who were more sedentary, walking just 2,000 steps. I mean, think about that. That is a huge benefit for a goal that feels so much more doable. And we're not just talking about living longer either. The benefits go way beyond that. This level of activity is also tied to a much lower risk of dementia, heart disease, depression, even type 2 diabetes. It's not just a physical upgrade, it's like a full body and mind upgrade. So does this mean more is always better? Well, not exactly. What the research shows is that at a certain point, the health benefits start to level off or plateau. For adults under 60, that happens somewhere between 8,000 and 10,000 steps. But for those over 60, that peak is actually between 6,000 and 8,000 steps. And this is exactly what makes 7,000 such a perfect target. It's right in that high-impact sweet spot for just about everyone. Okay, so now we have our new goal, and it's backed by some serious science. Awesome. But the next big question is, how do we actually do it? How do we fit 7,000 steps into our busy, real lives? Well, the good news is, it's way easier than you might think. Let's put this into perspective. For most of us, 7,000 steps works out to about an hour of walking, spread throughout the entire day. And here's the best part. It does not have to be all at once. You don't need to block out a solid hour. You can totally break it up. And here's a super simple way to think about it. Imagine this, a brisk 20-minute walk in the morning to get your day started, another 20 minutes on your lunch break, and then a nice 20-minute stroll in the evening to wind down. Boom. Just like that, you've pretty much hit your goal. And that's not even counting all the other steps you take just living your life. And please, remember this. All of it counts. Those short walks from your car to the store, they count. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator, that counts. Getting up from your desk for a 5-minute stretch and walk around, you bet it counts. Every single step adds up and is a step in the right direction for your health.
So it's really time to reframe how we think about our daily walking goal. It's not about hitting this big, arbitrary, all-or-nothing number that came from a marketing campaign 60 years ago.
And this is the key mindset shift. I really want this to sink in. 7,000 steps is not a backup plan. It's not the consolation prize because you couldn't hit 10,000. It is the science-supported target. It's the goal that delivers most of the incredible health benefits we've been talking about. So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all boil down to? It's this. Don't get obsessed with perfection. Just start where you are. Aim to move just a little bit more today than you did yesterday. Because when it comes to your health, progress will beat perfection. Every